Hi guys, it's Nancy, and I just did some real quick vellum experiments with hot foiling and toner foiling, and I wanted to show you the results. I'm not done experimenting here, but I bought some Recollections clear vellum from Michaels. They say it's 29 pounds, 8.5 by 11, 40 sheets. This is a little bit thicker than this other one that I found online, which says printable laser and inkjet. This is much thinner, 50 sheets. They say it's 100 GSM, so it's much thinner. It's in my Amazon shop, but I wanted to show you, I took both of these and I did a couple of experiments. So for hot foiling, I did my hot foil plate, which is from Spellbinders. Okay. And they don't look too bad. They look okay for hot foiling. Okay, so this one is the thinner one, which is the Amazon one. You can see it foiled fine. And then this is the thicker one, which is the Michaels one, which we have a little bit of overfoiling, but it actually did okay. So these backgrounds are both usable. They look great. So then I thought, well, let's try a solid image. And you guys know I'm obsessed with this little car. So I did the little car, and we got a different story here. So here is the Michaels with no shim, and here is the Michaels with 2 shims. It's a little better, but it's still not to where I would like it. And then I got overfoiling up here because I added the 2 shims. So not real happy with that. And then here is the thinner Amazon one with 1 shim. And then here it is with 2 shims. A little bit better, but still we got overfoiling, just not where I would like it to be. So I'm going to have to work on that for hot foiling. So then I thought, well, let's see how these guys do with toner foiling. So for toner foiling, I have printed out the new Groovy Heart from Kitchen Sink Stamps. Where'd my foil go? We're going to foil these. This is toner foiling now, not the same as hot foiling. So I have my Big Mama Mink there on setting 3. I'm going to use some Bluebonnet red holographic foil here. And if you guys recall, when I did these the other day with my other printer, the foiling did not come out great. I used my new Canon color something printer and did not come out great. So I used my regular Brother printer. I did my normal settings. Same paper, Hammermill 60 pound, which is what I recommend for toner printing. You really don't want to go too thick with toner printing. I'm in a Dusty Dusty. So the white one was the first one I printed out. And we're going to put the folded side in. Now, the plastic carrier sheets are not laminator sheets. These are carrier sheets to keep everything safe so they don't roll up inside your Mink rollers, because it has double set of rollers that are heated. You do not use these if you are using a laminator. If you're using a laminator, you're just going to use folded parchment paper or copy paper. You don't use these plastic sleeves. And with a laminator, you want to let it heat up for at least 30 minutes. And you're going to want to maybe run it through twice. Not all laminators get hot enough, and they don't oftentimes provide enough pressure. So then I printed it again on black. Remember, I had problems with the black Recollection 65 pound paper again in that other printer. So I have it ready to go here. And we're going to see what the results are. And then we will look at the 2 pieces of vellum. So I wanted to show you guys, when I ran it through with the thinner piece of vellum, it looks okay, but look at the center and the bottom here. It started to flake off, and that often happens with vellum because this is kind of a waxy coated paper. So it's very hard for the vellum to stick to this. So the first half started to do okay. And I do front feeding, rear release, so it shouldn't roll up. And then Here is the Michaels brand, and it did not want to stick at all. Look at that. So I had to take a cleaner sheet and run that through my printer, because when this gets stuck on the rollers, that's what happens. That toner just moves all over the place. It doesn't set because, again, it's a coated cardstock, so it's very difficult for vellum to work. So I'm hoping that this printed vellum works, at least on the top there. At least that gives you a little bit. Now, obviously, this is a very bold, thick image. So I think if you weren't doing something as bold or thick, you wouldn't have got that kind of runoff there. But let's see what we get. And I will continue to experiment to try to find a vellum that works with hot foiling and with toner foiling. I want to be very careful here when I dust as well, because again, that toner may not be set. I try to show you guys, if you're using a Brother printer, there's a toner fixation option in the settings. And I did do that. And I also put my vellum in as thin paper. Oh, you can see that revealed nicely. I'm going to grab the ones that I did the other day that did not come out so nice and show you guys the comparison. And the biggest difference is that I just used a different printer. On my Brother printer, I have more print setting options versus my Canon printer. Or what is that? Is that a Canon or HP? Hold on. I don't know what it is. All I know is it did not want to foil anything. Image class. Is it HP? I think it's an HP image class. It's an all-in-one color laser printer copier. And I bought it mostly for work, but I thought, oh, Canon, sorry. It is a Canon color laser image class. Okay, so I tried to print out the Michaels vellum, and the same thing happened. It kind of ran, and then you can see here that the foil did not stick very well, okay? And here are the ones I did with this particular image. You can see that it just didn't foil 100% great on that printer. And even on the black prints, I couldn't get a clean foil at all, okay? So going to my other printer, my Brother printer, with the correct settings, same paper, same design, you guys. Look at how beautiful that is. That is not one missed spot on there. So it really makes a difference on your printer settings as well. Same paper, same foil, just different printers. So let's see how the black comes out. So you can see it's night and day between the Canon printer, and I didn't have the right settings, and also this doesn't have a rear feed, a rear release. It's front feeding, but you cannot rear release. So let's check out the black one here. And we got one more we need to feed through before we... And this one just looks terrible. I don't think this is going to foil well at all. So I know vellum is something you guys have been looking for to print properly. Colored cardstock, Recollection 65-pound works really great. You do not want to use thick paper when you are toner foiling. You want the thinnest, smoothest paper you can get when you are toner foiling. All right, so while we are revealing, we'll feed this one in. Okay, so here is the black from the other day, again from the Canon printer. Here is the black, same paper, night and day. So this is, again, the Recollections brand, 65-pound, which you can pick up at Michael's. 65-pound. You don't want to use anything heavier than that. This is using the Brother Mono laser printer. It's fairly inexpensive. It's like 160 bucks. And I fed it through the front and released it through the back. Now I have some kind of fallout here. That's again from the dirty rollers. It picks up and moves it. So you want to make sure your rollers are clean. So cleaning sheets are a must when you are foiling. And then we will take a look at the two vellums here and see how they did. Now, I normally don't show hot foiling and toner foiling in the same video, but in this case, because I was experimenting with the same vellum, I wanted you guys to understand, you know, that vellum worked great when I did the background plates. I mean, this looks great. But when I did the solid foiling, it did not look so good. So I thought, well, let's see if I can do toner foiling with it. Okay, so here we're going to reveal the two toner printed ones. This is the thinner Amazon printable vellum. And that actually came out pretty good. Wow. And now it's not super thick. This is thin, so you're going to have to mount this on cardstock. Even down here where I have the fallout, it's very little. Like, it's not anything I can't deal with. Let's see if I can erase it. Yeah, some of that's coming off, but the top, that looks really good. So this printable vellum seems to be okay, and I'll link it down below. Like I said, it's in my Amazon shop, but just keep in mind it is very thin. Okay, let's check out the Michaels brand. I already know this is going to be a mess. Vellum is something I just don't like to foil on. It just doesn't want to work out. Heat safe printable acetate is your best bet. Because vellum is just too slick. It just moves it all over. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. I already know it. Yep. Okay, so you can see there at the top, the rollers started to get a little messy, but you can see that the toner doesn't want to stick, so the foil didn't want to stick. It's very bumpy looking. And then once that toner got stuck to the rollers, it just moved its way all the way down as it was printing. So this vellum, I think, is pretty good if you want to try to do toner foiling with it. This is the brand. I will link it down below for you guys. It is in my Amazon shop. Just keep in mind that it is super thin. And then for black paper, I still recommend the Recollections. And just again, look at the difference here between using one printer and using the other printer. I mean, these are solid images, and the toner again just didn't stick as well, versus being able to customize those settings, and look at how smooth those lines are. Much better, much better. And then here's the Hammermill 60 pound, which is what I always recommend. White paper is always going to be your best bet, and then you can always ink blend over this. All right, so hopefully that helps you guys out. Hammermill 60 pound premium color cardstock, which has the chameleon on it. Michaels Recollection 65 pound. Any of the Michaels Recollection 65 pound works great. And then this Thicken Vellum Papers. I think the name Thicken is kind of misleading because it's not thicken at all. All right, so I'll link all those for you guys down below. If you have any questions, post them down below. And you can also email us at foilingsnobsclub@gmail.com or join our Facebook group, which is Foiling Snobs Club. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up before you leave. Bye!